So it needs a variance for the two signs and for the illustration, right? Two variances?
They're allowed one sign, and then they'll need a variance for the secondary sign, and then the illustration on the wall sign.
Otherwise, it meets the
Yes.
size requirements?
Okay, you may not know this, answer this question, but there's, a series of other businesses all along Telegraph there that, front up close. And are they all the same? Do they all have monument signs out front? I mean,
Well, the monument proposed for this location, if you want to pull up the site plan, is actually slightly different. It's actually not right along the Telegraph Road frontage. It's actually interior to the access road that leads you into the credit union.
oh, there it is.
So it's not quite as visible. I think the intention, and the sign contractor, I'm sure, can speak a little more clearly to that. So you're not going to see it as visible along Telegraph Road. It's really to give a location closer to that interior road that takes you into the site. Because there's really only one access point in the upper right-hand photograph. The access into the site is actually not directly off Telegraph Road.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Paul Dieters. I'm with Metro Signs and Lighting, and with me here today also is Edward Seelan, who's the Vice President of Facilities for DFCU. So thank you for your consideration. As Andrea had mentioned, they're here too. A little bit of a challenge. This sign is really just going to help people because without an entrance off of Telegraph, as people come in, it would be difficult to discern how to get into the bank. There is not, nor are we proposing a wall sign facing north, which would be at the entry drive. So people would pull in and then not be able to see any identification for the bank. And we're hoping this is just going to enable people to figure out which way to navigate through there.
So from Telegraph, you're going to see the wall sign.
From Telegraph, that is correct. And we're proposing, and we have an application, as I said, for the ZBA for the column element or logo that you could see. They, like others there, Huntington Bank, Chase, the other prior to that, and a number of other places, that logo is a very prominent feature of their branding. They've got almost 35 or 37 facilities now, and that's a big piece of that. And with them being set so far back off the road and not having a ground sign, I think this will help identify the facility. I think it's to scale, given the size of the building, too.
Okay. I'm good with it. Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we approve the submission and forward it to the ZBA for their consideration.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 3, 4036 Telegraph Road, Crumble Cookies. Oof.
Okay. Crumble Cookies is located on Telegraph Road, 4036. There's an aerial of the property. Okay. And the sign complies with the requirements of the township's ordinances. It'll be 22.5 square feet total. There'll be no illustrations, and it projects 4 inches from the facade. I'll note on the bottom right, you might not see it clearly on the screen, but it says existing interior hanging sign to be removed. Staff recommends that the board include that in the motion for consideration. And then
Isn't there already a sign there?
there is a sign, they are going to replace it with this. The difference is you can see the pink background.
Do you have a picture of the existing sign?
So that's the existing sign?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Right there?
Oh, yeah, okay, I see. I see. They're just adding the pink, changing the colors with the pink background.
And then the sign is going to be a black color.
Right.
Is there going to be a lighting change?
So at the bottom here, you can see at night it'll be illuminated white.
And we do have some photographs of the rest of the remaining of the shopping center, as we can point out that when we're looking at the overall consistency of other signage within the shopping center, this isn't exactly, it's different. It's not a channel letter like what they currently have, so we just wanted to bring that to your attention, that it is not, the pink signage is different if you want us to look at the other signs that are out there. So the board may want to take that under consideration in terms of the compatibility.
And while I'm not a crumble cookie expert, it looks a little bit like a logo.
It is
With the
a
pink
logo.
and the
I think
words.
it is.
Could it be considered a logo, and there's a size variance issue there
Well, we've never
in the way it's,
treated the color of a sign, specifically a backing, to be a variance. However, I can understand if we're looking at just the color being a logo. We've usually looked at it in the past more in terms of compatibility with the design and the coloring across the other,
it doesn't look compatible to me.
correct.
You
I
can
agree with
already-
that point, plus the idea, just the way, I mean, look at the box, it's pink, the, everything
It
is
looks like
just
the
like a
box, I
logo.
think, with the logo on it. Like if you get a box of them, that's what I think it looks like.
And the logo, I mean, just like on the other issue with the bank, I mean, the logos are regulated, the size and how it's used, and, so I'm not actually a fan of this proposal. For inconsistency purposes, and in my view, it's the overall, the way it's been changed makes it now look, the whole thing as a logo, and
Is there anybody here
No.
from Crumble Cookies? You mind coming up to the podium? We can ask a question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Tammy Long. I work for Northern Sign, who's been contracted to do crumble cookies.
Okay.
They're just doing a rebrand is what they're asking. And all the crumble cookies are gonna, does have the pink backer like that in other cities.
It's just such a change from what is kind of a, I hate to say a standard, but if you go to that mall, strip mall, you know, there's like the bagel company, there's Starbucks, there's the nail salon. If you look at the signs,
They're all channel lettered.
yep.
yeah.
I don't know what would change my mind about, my opinion on that, but in the past, we've had the owner come too, and I don't know whether she could say anything that would change my mind, but, I mean, I guess we could consider either, tabling it to see if she wants to come speak on the issue, or take a vote, but.
Our next meeting will be in, what, 2 weeks?
Correct.
Okay. Why don't you have the owner stop in and address it with us, okay? I think we got some questions on the coloring of the sign and the change not really fitting in with what's there. Maybe we can come to a consensus if she's here to help us work through it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll let the person, let them know that to have the owner come
That'd be great.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
so I'll make a motion that we table this until the next meeting.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, item number 4, 6255 Telegraph Road, Primrose Schools. Welcome back. Oh, hey, Corey.
I actually think I'm going to take this one. Corey is prepared to as well. I provided you each a copy at your place setting in terms of what has occurred between the original design review board review for the ground sign for Primrose that occurred on 5/21/25. In doing an ample amount of research on this, I think that there was probably I have the history written down. I also drove up a table, drew a table and a hand-drawn rendering. Please apologize, my drawing of comparing what went to the DRB versus what is now existing on site. So I do want to note that what the design review board approved on 5/21/25 was actually an overall sign overall sign size of 43.8 square feet. And actually, the sign that we're looking at, that is in the field currently, that the applicant is asking for approval on, is actually slightly smaller at a 39.7 square foot. However, it got brought to our attention at that design review board meeting that there was some miscommunication that occurred on behalf of our department as well as the applicant. So in doing my research, I did have a conversation with our building division in regards to the application that was applied for. It was approved by the building department on 7/21/25. And it did have the attached design review board sign attached to that sign review, which we do usually include for building permits. And there was a approval at that time of that sign that was submitted for the building permit. After that building permit was approved by our building official, it was brought to the attention of the planning that the sign that was installed did not comply with the design review board approval. Sign revisions were in fact then resubmitted to the building division at the end of July, so July 31st, 25. The revisions submitted by the applicant did not match what was constructed in the field. The planning denied sending the sign back to the DRB due to the change in the field. And then the sign that was presented at the 10-1 DRB meeting was tabled due to more information being requested. So a couple things that we learned from this experience is that moving forward, we will have a member of our planning team will be reviewing all building permits related to signs. And I will say on behalf of the individual who did approve the sign, it was a very moderate size change. And they actually have an extremely good track record of being very fine-tuned when it comes to our signage, so it was kind of an unfortunate situation. And then in terms of a conversation regarding the conversation between the revisions that were submitted to our department and approved, those permits had been approved prior to us realizing that there was an inconsistency. But because it's still an open permit, our department absolutely has the right to go out there and require that applicant to come back before the design review board, which is what happened. So what we have today is I've provided you a overview of really what was approved by the design review board versus what's out there today. I did a table, and I would say in my recommendation, the changes that occurred are very minimal compared to what the design review board did originally approve. As a matter of fact, it's slightly smaller when we look at the overall sign area. And I also want to note that because this property is zoned multifamily residential, we do not have a required ground sign size in that district. So I would suggest that the board consider that the design and the overall size is actually slightly smaller than what was originally went to the DRB, that we would have you consider to approve the sign. And I also do want to note that I think in honesty with the applicant and the sign contractor, there was a confusion regarding the roles of the individual constructing the actual base and sign versus the applicant who we've worked with, Mr. Stein, who's here in the audience, who really was intended to be the installer of just the round logo. So unfortunately, things like this happen sometimes when you have two different contractors doing two different things.
Okay, Andrea,
So I think, is
let's
that
ask a
yeah,
question.
Go ahead.
I remember when we found out about the conflict, I think when they first submitted it, the measurements were incorrect that we were given, if I remember correctly, right?
Correct.
And then there was an issue with regards to emails that I believe Olivia answered that okayed it. Did you look into those emails?
She just responded to me that the revisions he's referring to, when he emailed her about her revisions, were approved, and that I have an email from Olivia on October 1st, says the revisions he's referring to in the below email were approved by Chris on 8/13. On 8/28, an additional review for planning was created in BSNA per our discussion we had in the office, and that was after we determined that that it was not the accurate size. And at that time, we realized that it didn't comply, and that's when we brought him back here. So in all honesty, I think this is probably becoming a bigger issue than it traditionally is. This does happen, unfortunately, where
Well, I'm
things.
just trying to clear up
Yeah.
the confusion with the email, because it sounded originally that Olivia gave him, is it Mr. Stein, permission to go ahead with the sign that was approved. And-
Correct. The sign was approved.
But she
That's
was confused thought she was giving Primrose a temporary occupancy permit.
And I stand corrected if that's right, but I presented the design review board meeting, that was my understanding at the time. And so now that I've gone back and done research.
Okay.
I will take that back and say that the sign was approved.
Okay.
Under the sign review, process review, which is very common, that's what we do, it was determined that what was installed was different than what was approved, thus necessitating them to come back to the township.
Okay. And I know the other issue was, they had the flag, and I saw the flag was removed.
Correct.
So, yeah, thank you.
So I know Mr. Stein's here if he has anything.
I have another question for clarity's sake. So we've got what DRB approved, we have the existing sign. Wouldn't there be a third drawing that shows what, so the DR approval, is that the corrected numbers? Because again, if I recall correctly, the measurements
We're incorrect.
weren't added up correctly on what they drew up.
They were stated
presented.
incorrectly on the, what was
That's why I
submitted.
went out and did my own research, and I would be pretty confident to say that the request before you today is what's out there in the field, which I've
This is the
demonstrated.
existing sign.
Correct.
The DRB approval, is that the approval of the corrected numbers or the actual numbers that were presented to us at that time?
That was,
'Cause that's
was actually approved. I guess I'm not
Okay.
understanding your
Well,
question.
If I don't, it's not here in the packet now, but there were, if we added up the numbers, they didn't add up to 6 foot, they added up to a different number. If we added the number, height, if we added the numbers, it didn't add up to 7'4", it added to a different number.
I think there was a series of information that was, that there were different numbers, probably 3 different groups of numbers. I guess I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, my point is that my largest concern is that my understanding from the last meeting is that we approved it based upon the incorrect math. The lines didn't add up to what they claimed they did.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that's my issue.
I understand.
Didn't have the correct information, we're misinformed. Maybe I would have voted differently on the original DRB approval if they had properly indicated the numbers.
Okay, at this point, I guess I'm not really sure the next direction you would like me to take regarding it.
I'm just trying to make sure I understand, that I'm recalling this correctly.
Yeah, we're trying to understand the scope of the whole
The design
situation here.
presented to the DRB, to you,
Right.
and the DRB was inaccurate their math was inaccurate. It's a significant issue for me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here at the board table and check the math that across the top, the different spots add up to, 6.4 versus 7.4.
Okay.
And so.
Do you want to hear from the applicant, maybe?
Sure, happy to.
Good afternoon, Matthew Stein with Signscapes.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Sorry we're in this situation. Yeah, the original drawings, there were a couple different Primrose projects taking place in a couple different cities. The error was on our part, we grabbed the wrong drawing, inserted into this packet, and here we are. So it was clerical error on our part that operationally has definitely been addressed.
That's the design review board plan that was approved.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Unfortunately, I think it did become an issue when you had somebody else constructing the actual sign and you were responsible for the logo. I'll be honest with you, after a lot of research, it was kind of a series of different things, so I'll let.
I agree with you, and I did bring that up at the beginning of this process, that our scope of work in this project was to attach those 2 round logos to a structure being built by somebody else.
And then the other issue you brought up, Andrea, and I don't recall hearing this in the past, it had to do with this property that Primrose is on was a multifamily, zoned multifamily. Therefore, there's no sign regulations we have on a multi-use property like that.
Yeah, I have the sign review here, right here, which states the requirements within the Okay, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. One ground sign shall not have an area of no more than 32 square feet per side, or 64 square feet of total area shall be permitted.
64?
Correct.
Okay. And that's within a multifamily zone, which is what that property was zoned for, originally for?
Correct.
Okay.
So again, what was the allowed square footage size allowed?
32 square feet.
And the existing sign
I
is?
don't know, Corey, if this is the actual,
I
if
think
this
it's
is
right
really
here.
for
39.68.
multiple family.
Is
That's
that
my
right,
issue.
Mr. Stein?
Sorry?
This total sign is 39.68 square feet now?
I don't have the drawings in front of me.
Okay.
And did it go to ZBA?
Is that 39.68 front and
I-
back, or just one side?
It's supposed to be one side, 32 square feet. So
Is it double-sided?
Yes.
And there's a setback we follow there, right? And the sign's within the setback, is that, it's correctly
that is
placed,
correct,
right?
yes.
Okay.
I stand corrected, it was the wall signs that are not permitted in the research, just in the multiple family.
The wall signs on
Yes.
the building, but we approved
Correct.
that already.
Correct,
When did
correct,
ZBA approve that?
correct. So that was where I misspoke regarding the provisions related to signage.
Okay.
Since this ground sign is larger than permitted, will this need to go to ZBA too?
Yes, I think there was just a lot of serious things that happened this time. We had some new, I'm not gonna make excuses. Okay,
Well, no,
but
we
there
just
was a
asked about the
series of
next
things.
process.
That's okay.
The next
Understood.
process.
And it was, this is not a good example of our process, it was a very,
No.
you know, confusing.
If we,
Yeah.
whatever we do here, we approve it or whatever, recommendation, he's got to go back to the zoning board with this?
Correct, for
Okay,
the size, that is correct, thank you.
okay. All right.
Well, again, I saved my issue. My issue was that the drawings were inaccurate, were presented with inaccurate drawings, and
And so, okay, but so what, the sign is there, what are we gonna do about it?
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
we can vote now.
I've driven by it a number of times. I think it looks fine.
you can make a motion.
Just trying to think of what motion I need to make.
Refer it to
We're
the
gonna,
zoning board.
we're gonna approve the sign application.
I would say the amended sign, subject to ZBA approval.
Okay, so we're gonna approve the amended sign pending ZBA approval. That's my motion.
Okay, support? Do we need anything more onto that, Andrea?
Are you supporting it? Because it doesn't sound like Martin's supporting it.
Yes, I'm gonna vote to support it, to send it to ZBA.
Okay.
To support, or support? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No,
Okay, 2-1. All right, thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
thanks.
All right, site improvements. Item number B, site improvements. Item number 1, 1191 West Square Lake Road and 2709 South Telegraph Road, TMP Architects.
Thank you. So TMP Architects is looking to do site improvements, facade improvements to both buildings on their campus. They have 2 addresses here and 2 parcels. So they have the north building here to the north and then the south building here. They sit within our office district. You can see they sit at the intersection of Square Lake Road and Telegraph Road. It's that very busy, chaotic kind of tri-intersection. They sit along our commercial corridor and then they back up to residential to the rear. Our aerial map confirms our zoning. It's consistent. There's residential to the rear, commercial and office development along Telegraph Road. And so getting into what they're actually proposing. They're proposing exterior site improvements for both the north and south buildings. Let's see, for the north building, which is the one we see here, the one that kind of looks like it used to be a schoolhouse and then was added onto, they are proposing to remove the existing asphalt roof and replace it with a standing seam zinc roof and graphite gray finish. They're cladding the new elevator shaft in zinc diamond shingles. They're replacing the existing cement fascia with custom formed zinc panels. All existing windows are being replaced with new energy efficient aluminum windows. The existing stucco will be cleaned and repainted in white. Existing steel beams and columns will remain and be repainted. A new painted metal screen will conceal rooftop mechanical units, and a new concrete stair and landing are proposed for the north elevation. And so that work in detail is provided in your packet outlining all the facade changes that they are proposing. It is mostly materials and upgrades.
And weren't they raising the roof or something? Wasn't there a roof line that was going up a little bit or something?
They might be able to speak better on that.
Is that right? Yeah, come on up and introduce yourself.
I was here previously.
Yeah, hi. Welcome
That was
back.
when we were just replacing the roof.
You can
and
introduce
it went up
yourself.
like
If
4
you
inches.
could introduce yourself.
I'm Bill Weinrock with TMP Architects.
Thank you.
We were here a month or two ago. We were replacing the flat roof.
Yeah.
That's part of the work that's taking place. So we got the roof warm or dry, and now we're trying to replace the exterior facade.
It looks like it's going to really look great.
It's gonna look
Yeah,
fantastic.
how many years have you been at that location?
We've been there since 59,
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
not me personally.
No.
All right, so continuing to the south building. Once my computer catches up. All right, so for the south building, improvements focus on enhancing the building's street presence and screening on the south property line. They are constructing a new wood-framed canopy supported by 4x4s, pressure-treated posts. The canopy roof will have zinc metal panels consistent with the north building. The canopy will incorporate an electric heat mat and integrated lighting for functionality and comfort. The other big change to the south building is replacement of the screening fence along the perimeter of the property. The fence posts will remain and the fence location will remain. They're simply swapping out the brick and they're going to be replacing it with, sorry, I believe it's wood channels. Sorry, a wood composite. So there will be a few variances needed. The fence does extend into the front yard here at this point, so any portion of the fence in the front yard will require approval by the ZBA. And then, this is actually not part of their request, I confirmed that with the applicant, but they are in the future, it looks like proposing several items out in the lawn, some improvements, some areas for their employees, that most of those items will require ZBA approval, but they're not part of this request today.
Okay,
And so that's it for my presentation.
thank you.
If I could, I would ask Patrick from Dual to come up and talk about the landscape design that Dual has been working on as part of the site improvement. As it's, I think it's pretty impressive and comprehensive, so if you'd like to share
Yes, thank
what you're
you.
doing with this.
Andrea, my name is Patrick Funke with Dual Landscape Architecture. We're working with TMP Architecture on developing an outdoor entertainment, or really not entertainment, outdoor facility for their employees and their occasional guests to use. The space will consist of a permeable paving terrace patio with seating for picnic tables, leisure, and some potential workspaces or work pods. We have one small overhead pergola centered on the work pod area, right where your red arrow is, that will require ZBA approval. We're doing that for, on sunny days so they can use their laptops outside. We have some exposed aggregate concrete seat walls and curbs proposed, as well as a casual decomposed granite pathway system that meanders between the curb, rock outcropping, seat rocks, and the seat wall. We do have an open space of lawn and also proposing a fire feature for evening use, as in a water feature to help disguise the noise along Telegraph there, a very busy thoroughfare, as everybody's aware. And probably one of the most important things is the necessity for some security fencing. We're using a 4-foot-high aluminum picket fence, black, so it's transparent, weaving in and out of the existing trees and the proposed evergreens to create a buffer from Telegraph Road and the surrounding parking to make this just feel like a real oasis. So I think it's a great example of, a firm investing in their employees to promote the outdoors, and we're excited to be part of it.
Nice, looks great.
So I'm not sure what the discussion was, but my understanding, this is part of, we met yesterday, this is part of their request before you today.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I apologize.
I think it looks great, but I have a question just for my own informational purposes. What's decomposed granite? Sounds impossible.
So a decomposed granite's a very fine granite. It's smaller than your pinky fingernail. What we do is we put on like a road base, a 21 AA below that, and then the top 2 inches, there's multitude of colors available, but it's real fine, and there's actually a stabilizer that is in it that is activated with water so that they don't track it into necessarily their office. But it's just meant to be casual and natural, a little bit more sustainable. It's permeable as well, so.
Thank you.
So with this request, we would just include that the fence, as Corey stated, the fencing, the fire pit, they are proposing a gas burning fire pit for their users. They are also proposing a water feature and a grill located closer to the building. So because of the location of those accessory structures within the frontages, that will require a zoning board of appeals. But I think that that's just based on obviously the layout of the property that necessitates the requirement of those approvals. But
Does this need to go to the Board of Trustees?
no, because it's not a building addition, they're literally just doing exterior work. If they were adding any occupiable space or doing an addition, then we would take it on through a site plan approval process, but in this instance, these are site improvements, we look at that.
Okay, and do we need to put any timing restrictions?
On the use? I would
Because
have,
it,
I guess,
because it abuts residential?
we could ask the outdoor space actually abuts, well, I'll have you speak to the hours.
Yeah, Dave, you want to go ahead and do that?
I suppose I can do that.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Larson, Chairman of TMP, and been with TMP for 40 years, believe it or not. So we will be using this during business hours primarily. Now, occasionally, we might have a evening party or something of that nature, but those are generally pretty low-key, events. It's well screened from the neighbors. You cannot really see this courtyard or the outdoor space from the neighborhoods immediately adjacent. So we feel that, and if you stand out there, it's a very private environment, right, even as it is right now. So you can see, thanks to the aerial, that corner, that quadrant is pretty isolated from.
I'm trying to find is there a plan that shows what the as-bilt's gonna be in that same shape?
Oh, you're asking for, okay, Patrick, do you have one?
Site plan hard copy, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This shows the whole property, you're welcome to keep this.
Oh, okay, I see what it is.
This is the.
Okay.
Put the aerial in.
So it's really against Telegraph.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yeah.
far away.
Here are
Correct.
the houses I just got off
Okay.
that aerial, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the Telegraph side.
Yeah,
On the noisy side.
on the noisy side.
Okay. And you're just, basically, it's just for your employees to use, and then you might have a work event that you would hold there.
Yeah, we might have.
That's it. Yeah,
Meet and greet with the clients.
that's all. Yeah, looks beautiful.
Will the fence totally enclose that from people who may walk in off the road?
That's the whole idea.
Okay.
It's only 4 feet, it's just a message.
If you'd like to
Sure,
go back to the
sure.
podium, we could hear you on the recording. Thank you.
Good
Thank
point,
you,
Andrea.
Patrick. Yeah, so the area they're looking to use, the outside, is more really adjacent just solely to, between their two buildings facing Telegraph.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it go to planning too, or just?
No,
ZBA.
this is just a site improvement. This is just exterior site improvements and a facade improvement.
So besides us, it goes to anyone?
DBA.
This would be it.
This is it?
Oh, ZBA, I'm sorry,
Oh,
for the
and
accessory
ZBA.
structures.
Okay.
And we are prepared, Andrea, per our meeting yesterday, we have our ZBA application to turn in following this meeting, assume this is a
Great.
favorable
Yeah.
vote.
Okay.
Sounds
I'm
good.
happy to
Thanks,
make a
Matt.
motion.
Yep,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the building facade, improvements and the landscape architecture as presented,
And send it to the ZBA.
and forward to ZBA for further consideration.
Okay, support?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Passed 3-0. Thank you. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thanks a
Yeah, looks like a wonderful project.
Yeah,
Item number
thank you.
2, 2527 South
a good
Telegraph
idea.
Road, Verizon.
So this is very simple. They are adding a heat pump to the roof. This is where the property sits within our zoning map, very close to where we were just discussing.
Right, yeah. What are they doing on the roof, you
They're
said?
adding a heat pump.
Okay, right.
So we can just cut to the chase if you want. The heat pump will be located right here,
Yep,
right there. It is screened with parapets on the front.
okay. And
Front
does
of
this need to
buildings.
go to the ZBA?
Doesn't need ZBA, just needs your approval. It is not visible from the rear. I circled the building myself to confirm.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve as submitted.
Support. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number 3, 4104 West Maple Road, the Goldsmith Gallery.
Hello again, Board. This is another simple request for a roof-mounted mechanical replacement at the Goldsmith Gallery on West Maple Road. So the roof-mounted mechanicals will be located in the rear of the building facing the parking lot. This is a photograph from the roof. The mechanicals are already screened.
And they're just replacing.
Yes, and then we have the contractor, Paul, here, who can
It'll
answer
be a
any
lot quieter than
technical
probably what's been
questions.
there, I'm sure.
That looks pretty,
And then here are some
Well worn.
photos from a site visit.
Yep,
And you can see the screening
right,
right there.
That's from the rear of the building.
sure.
I don't have any questions.
Michael, okay, make a motion.
I move to approve as presented.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you, good luck. Item C, site plans. Item number 1, 43003 Woodward Avenue, the mobile gas station.
All right, so this is a site you should all be very familiar with by this
Yep.
point. It's at the intersection of Square Lake and Woodward. See where it sits within our aerial, it's in a commercial corridor, residential is well tucked away from it. This has been before you, I believe, a few times, so you're familiar with the gas station that's under construction.
Looks great. I think it's open though.
Yep, it is open. So all that they're seeking to do is add a liquor license. Because of that, they have to be routed as though it were a site plan. And so that's why it's coming before you today, but there are no proposed alterations to the design of the facility. But I would like to go over the requirements for a liquor license, just to clarify that this property does qualify. So to get a liquor license in this or for a gas station, you have to be zone B3, which the property is zoned. Your property has to be over 0.51 acres, this property is 0.96. The building size has to be over 2,000 square feet, this one is 3,700. And there cannot be any adjacent residential, there is none. There cannot be a drive-through, there is none, and there cannot be auto repair on site, there is none. So they qualify for a liquor license.
Yeah, I think this has been in the plan and the works for a while, and here we are.
Yep.
That's a great looking station. Glad to see it open. Any questions?
So this will go through the Planning Commission as well as Township Board because this is affiliated with retail packaged liquor. As well as the applicant has submitted a Township liquor license application as well.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
I move to approve as presented.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you. Okay, item number 2, 42931 Woodward Avenue, Western Market.
All right, so same intersection as before, but now on the south side. Where there used to be a Rite Aid, the applicant is proposing to convert that space into a grocery store. Because of that, it's being routed through as a site plan for a change in use. So I can clarify that the existing building is going to be minimally altered. It meets the existing setbacks and will continue to meet the setbacks. And I can go over what changes they are proposing. So give me a second because the computer handles these very slowly. But I'm gonna move to the renderings because I think those are the most useful for your purposes.
This is really gonna be a great addition to our community.
I agree.
Wow.
And we can look at those more later, but I really want to
No,
focus.
that was really good. I saw them.
Okay.
Looks great.
Yeah.
All right, so they're taking the existing overhang.
Is that a picture of you, Mike, there, walking in the front there?
There's a likeness that I will be charging for.
Those photos were taken by Google Mobile. They block out the faces.
Okay, sorry, Corey, we're getting,
You're good. So they're going to renovate the former Rite Aid. It is consistent with the zoning for the district. B3 allows for grocery stores. They will be requesting a liquor license as part of this, so they're being routed through as a retail liquor package, I believe it is called. But it is a grocery store that they are proposing. In terms of exterior alterations, they're going to be recladding the facade and modernizing it with contemporary materials. The main entrance canopy is going to be redesigned for increased visibility. let's see, so they're gonna be adding an outdoor market zone under here, under the canopy. It's gonna be an outdoor dedicated space for produce and cart area. You can see the cart storage will occur off to the side here. Other improvements include increased accessibility, ADA requirements. So that's a huge improvement for the property. They're gonna be adding this light column here as a design feature. And then the other,
What did you call it?
say, light column, I believe it lights up.
column?
They're like columns along these columns, they're linear LEDs that light up.
We'll have a chance for you to come up and, after Corey's done, you can come up and talk.
Okay,
So it's a column.
So is
and-
that actually a column?
It's actually a column and it lights up with LEDs.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so it's actually a column and it lights up.
Yeah, it's not like a light beam, sorry for
Okay,
not being
okay.
clear.
It's basically a column light that gets attached to the front of those columns there. They're small in scale, but they're long, and it just illuminates the front. They're shielded from any outward light, so it basically glows the front of the building.
And you can introduce yourself.
Yeah,
please?
so my name is Steve Savaggio. I'm co-owner, I'm partners with my son, Steven Savaggio. So sorry for the confusion with all the Steves, and sorry for the confusion with all the Savaggios. We are related to the Savaggios who are south of us off of Telegraph. So we're cousins, although we spell our name differently. We're Selvaggio. I know it doesn't really matter, but I just want to give an explanation to who we are. We've been located in downtown Ferndale for 43 years. We've got a pretty good track record. We've sustained through all the highs and the lows. And we feel very confident about this new location, which is actually going to be a rebranding for us. It's going to be called Nourish by Western Market. And so what you see there on the sign is going to be the same in scale. It's going to look a little different. We're in the middle of rebranding. So, but it's the name of the store is going to be called Nourish by Western Market. So,
Mr. Salvaggio, that light you're talking about, that beam, have you installed that in your store in Ferndale?
have not. This was brought to us by design group, Ron and Roman, who was our original designers. We really liked them a lot. They brought a lot of good things to it. But we have changed designers in midstream, and we're now with a design firm called H2G, which is the design firm, which we've all said, yeah, we like this. And basically what they are is just probably, I don't have the exact dimensions, but they're narrow and long along the front of those columns. So as you're driving by, and the letters up on the sign illuminate. There's not a light on the sign, but they just,
The letters themselves illuminate?
they illuminate. Yes, they're LED illuminating.
Are we being asked to
Lights.
approve the sign?
No, so if I could continue
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
presentation.
Oh, sorry, Corey.
You're good. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was the signage. The applicant's proposing these 3 signs. We spoke yesterday. This is close to what they want, but not exactly. So they're going to be coming back
For the
later.
signage.
It
sign
conforms to
approvals.
the square footage, but what you see on the sign is gonna change a little bit because of the rebranding. And we're trying hard, so currently, we feel we have a identity crisis. Western Market's oftenly confused with Westbourne Market. And they're both great markets. We like Westbourne, they're friendly competitors, but we wanna stand out and be known as Nourish by Western Market, so that we know that this is an upscale market that caters to people who are health-oriented, who want better products. We're not a conventional grocer, we're what we call a specialty grocer, and we concentrate on being special. And this is our first out to change the brand.
Okay.
We have high hopes to extend that to other locations eventually. This is number 2, but it's also number 2 with a different brand. And we plan to rebrand our 9 Mile, location, but not yet. We want to get this one off the ground and be real strong with the Nourish brand.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Salvaggio.
thank you.
Okay, Corey, I'm sorry, you want to go through your list now?
Just want to finish up real quick.
Yeah.
So signage will be routed back later. The other exterior alteration that I wanted to draw your attention to is at the rear of the property.
Yes.
So there's this kind of yellow railing ramp area. This is all proposed to be removed, so they're gonna be getting rid of this kind of ugly stuff. And they're gonna have a truck backup here. This is gonna be their loading zone. It's gonna be a cleaner look, and then it's gonna back up to a raised platform with a roof over it for loading and unloading on site. But they will be getting rid of a lot of this back here. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is alterations to the facade. They're going to be increasing the window size, right there. And then lastly, I wanted to clarify that since the use is going from a Rite Aid to a grocery store, From a parking count perspective, we consider that same for same. So there's no change to the parking. Their parking lot is grandfathered.
And then you had some pictures of inside the store. Do you want to go through them a little slower this time? and
Yeah.
Sure.
Check
You
it
didn't
out?
like it the other way?
Okay. So that's the wine department, and it looks like there's a bar there.
It's a concierge desk, although this is being revised as we're speaking. The concierge desk is going to be on the end of the, this way you can't see from this view. And the actual, what we've done through probably 25 different design meetings is the wine and the liquor are going to change places. We feel that we want to have liquor, but we know liquor is on the downswing as far as consumption. So we're downsizing the size of the liquor and expanding the size of the wine.
The wine's going up.
The
in
wine
sales.
is, the footprint of the wine is going up.
Okay.
But currently, what you see is the liquor is gonna go there in a smaller format, and the wine's gonna go on the other side. And it's still in development.
And then would there be, like, would you be hosting events in that at all, or no? This is
No,
just for.
what we have is, like, currently, we do like Wednesday wine tastings, they're free. We're allowed to taste 3 1-ounce samplings, but the events themselves as events, paid events, no, they're not planned for this space.
Okay. And then what time will the wine tasting on Wednesdays be?
Usually they're from 3 to 5, or, I'm sorry, 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Yep, and that's what we currently do. They're fun, they're nice, people get to explore new wines, they don't have to pay.
Sure.
They're free and we have a separate license for that, it's a tasting license.
Okay.
So just to clear, I'm sorry, I just want to touch upon the liquor license quickly. This is being processed again as a retail package for consumption of, and currently their application into the clerk's office is for an SDM license, which is for beer and wine. However, similar to what we did exactly for Nino Savaggio's, when Nino's came to the township, they went through the site plan process, they went before the township board for approval, and at that time, they noted that they were going to seek an SDD license of liquor. So we're going to process this the same way in the fact that they've applied for their SDM. They have an intention of getting SDD. So if it goes through gets approval from the board, they don't have to come back to you because their approval will be granted as part of a retail package. So just wanted to clarify the 2 licenses.
Okay. And how many square feet will this be?
This is 14,300 of the interior. There's a small space outside. I'm not exactly sure the square footage. If I had to guess, it's probably 500 square feet on the outside.
Okay. Corey, do you have anything else you'd like to present?
That's it for me.
Thank you. Sorry we were back and forth.
Couple of quick questions. So I'm in the Ferndale store at least once a month.
Oh, nice.
It's a great,
Thank you.
it's a great store. I love the meat counter in particular. Well, the
We have the
the
exact
quality, so a lot of places you go and it's just came in on a prepackaged. You
So
guys are doing a lot of your own work.
So we have plans of making it similar to the 9 Mile location. We have the exact same footprint of a service counter. We're trying to add a little bit of packaged meat, only for convenience only. People like to just walk up and grab. So we try to identify the most, used items and package those so people can come in and grab them and go so they don't have to wait in service. Back, I'm gonna say, during COVID or even post-COVID, we made a conscious decision in Ferndale to almost remove most of all of our service cases, except for the meat department. And the meat department we kept. It's really popular for us. We're one of the, I don't say the few, but we feel that we execute at a very high level of our meat counter. People like it a lot. We don't want to remove that particular. But in this location, we've actually added service cases comparatively to 9 Mile because we feel that we want to present some service, but not so much where it's a burden on labor. Labor is a very tough cookie to cut currently. We want to keep a nice balance.
So the meat, all the staff there are really good, but the meat counter staff in particular are.
Thank you very much. I
Are
appreciate
really,
that.
good. As a consumer, I appreciate their advice. I guarantee you the market around here will similarly like it too. You know this, that's why you're investing all this money.
That's what we're shooting for, is
Let-
to cater to the clientele that,
Yep.
give them what they want. And honestly, in the 43 years that we've been in Ferndale, we've changed a bunch of times. And I'll tell you why we've changed. Listen to the customer and try to give them what they want. And what we think that what they want sometimes doesn't always match. But as we find out and experience, what they're looking for, we're easy to pivot and change and make things, better. And that's our goal, is to keep improving.
I look forward to having it here in the community, and it's going to do really well.
Thank you very
Thanks for coming
much.
here. Does it
I have one question. Do we Do we have any regulations around the food outside?
When they do open and they do want to set up their outdoor sales, we do have the requirement, just like Nino's and other outdoor sales, to file for a special event application that comes before the design review board. And what that does is we basically just take a look at the layout and make sure our fire marshal has a chance to look at it, making sure that you have enough space and that it's safe and accessible. So that would just be an application for a special event for outdoor sales. That's a way that we can kind of give an oversight locally to outdoor sales. So thank you for that.
And then that is,
Perpetuated as long as it doesn't change.
And if I could speak to the outdoor sales, we put the outdoor sales for a reason. It's actually a drawing card for people driving by and saying, oh, it must be a market there, even though you can clearly see that it's a market. So in our experience in Ferndale, whenever we put things outside, it attracts people to come in. They like it a lot, especially during the spring and summer, hours. Like right now, we're actually closing down our outside sales. Post Halloween, things just settle down. Nobody wants to shop outside in 40-degree weather or below. And so we basically kind of tone that down a lot and basically sell firewood, rock salt, but minimally. It's not a big footprint. But spring and summer, we try to keep it contained to be a nice splash, but not too much to where it's like exactly what Andrea said.
I'm sure it's going to be very nice.
When's the grand opening?
We hope for April 1st. I don't know if that's so realistic. Probably, May 1st.
Okay.
Our developer's pushing us a little bit to get it done and get it out. And we're just about getting ready to do demo in there. We still haven't been approved with the demo plan, but we're getting some of the loose stuff that's in there now, and then they'll come in and do a complete demo of the area so we can make it look like this instead of what it currently looks like. It looks like an older Rite Aid. And I actually went into an older Rite Aid yesterday that has not been demoed completely. And honestly, it looks like a Rite Aid that got kind of some makeup on it. We're taking a different route where we're trying to make it look. So we're the alternative grocer. When I say that, I mean we're not as big as Nino Savaggio, but we carry a lot of the same products. But we want to be in and out, kind of what you've experienced at 9 Mile. So it's 14,000 square foot, and average grocer is about 40,000. So we feel that we're the alternative to the Meijer, Kroger, or the bigger footprint stores, where people can we want to be a neighborhood grocer, but yet a cut above.
All right, thank you.
They're scheduled for the November 17th Planning Commission.
Okay.
great. Then I'll make the motion that we approve the submission and forward it along to the Planning Commission.
Support.
All in
Thank
favor,
you.
say aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0, and welcome to Bloomfield Township.
Thank
We
so
wish you the
much.
best of
By the
luck.
way, my son's a 13-year resident here in Bloomfield Township, part of the
Great.
community.
Nice.
Great.
He's involved, and I feel like this is going to be our new home, so.
Good.
Wonderful.
Great. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
We're all
Thanks a lot.
excited. Thank you.
The Ferndale store is going to have one less customer though, so
We know we might trace some customers out, but we're excited
You'll
about
get
this location a lot. It's
many
a
more.
great location.
yes.
Nice. Under general business, anything for recent design review board approvals?
Nothing major.
Nothing? And then our next meeting is Wednesday, November the 19th at 2 PM. We'll see you then and move for adjournment.
Move.
We are adjourned. Thank you.